Hassan has stolen my tongue. What do you mean? I forgot how to hunt. Help me, grandfather. Listen to the wind, my child. Listen to the creek. Grandfather, they put me on a res. It is okay, my son. Who you are, who you were, look into your heart. But grandfather, I don't know how to ride a horse. Listen to me, my child. It is not where you're at that describes you, nor defines who you are. It is what we do while we are there. Grandfather, where do I belong? My child, you don't belong anywhere to any one thing because you are a part of everything that is. My child, answers are what is. Grandfather, I wish I could go on the big hunt and stay the night in a hut. Oh, but you have been to school and graduated, my child. You have been a part of the greatest war waged for our nation. You are a warrior who makes my heart soar like the great eagle high over the valley, because you have won where others like you have failed. My child, don't be discouraged when you fall off your horse, because if you never learn to ride, you can never go out to the hunt.
I start by no regular introduction. I tell no stories, speak of no names. I have words spoken by the youth of my tribe. And this is how we do it.
So I could show them that this is us right here. We're known in the books as Southwestern. And to us, we're Kashia Pomo. And before that, we were known when we were in Fort Ross, our ancestors were known. We were known. So, and this here, the green area is like Geyserville and Cloverdale, Santa Rosa, and Hillsburg Indian area. This is all here southern. They were known as Southern Pomos.
Where's good old PA?
Point Arena right here in purple. They're known as Central Pomo.
This is the old roundhouse in Kashia.
As you can see, it's locked up. We got a new roundhouse now, but it's where it all started. We just want to say this is our roundhouse. This is what we had back in the day when there was no houses around here, just what we built. And as you can see, we moved up.
To the elders and stuff, this is like a holy place. This is like our church. And we just want to make sure that we don't say or record anything to offend anybody, and that it's just for educational purposes. And if it's all right with you guys, maybe we'll say a little prayer real fast. off camera. And then,
Okay, so
we'll
this
start
is the Roundhouse Point Arena.
Yeah.
Okay.
Roundhouse.
Forward
This is
to-
where we have our dances. It's where we give our kids their Indian names. It's where we have our Strawberry Festival, Acorn Festival.
Acorn is just the same thing, celebrating the new, the new acorn season too. You just bring in the new acorns and you celebrate by dancing and dancing them in and eating them and like with the strawberries.
Some people throw dances for special purposes, like if somebody's sick in their family or a celebration, they'll go ahead and have something here. This is comparative to a church for us.
Oh, look, dancers are feeling it. Feel the way, feel the way.
Here is part of the young men's regalia. This goes on the back of the head like this to hold it. It represents the antlers on a deer.
This right here is the dressing room. This is where our dancers put on their regalia, get ready to go out there and do what they gotta do.
My life on the reservation was happy. During my time, we had our religion, we had our fun days, we had our school, we had all these things going on. We ate more Indian food in my childhood days. We spoke our own language.
Oh, I don't know any. I mean, I know some. Not that much, though. I know a couple words. I used to know a lot, but I forgot. Yep. Clarence Carrillo, he taught me some when I was 8 years old. But then after that, I just...
We are going to learn Indian language. Okay? Help him now. Shah Yamin means hurry up. Yeah. Shah Yamin means hurry up. What the kids know about the Walepo. They call him Wally the new. This story is told by Essie Parrish. She was my mother, and she drew this picture of what she thought the Walepo looked like. When she seen it, she said, "This is what he looked like."
Walloper. You hear that? He's coming.
Well, what is a wally, dude?
Something that hates white people. It hates everybody.
Shit, I must be a Wally then. 'Cause I can't stand white people.
Well, if that's the case, I'm a motherfucking wally too.
Well, fuck, we're all Wallies here, man. We all hate white people.
They always ask me, Shamley, am I racist? I tell them, no, I hate everybody equally.
Yes.
Have you experienced racism? If so, how?
Sometimes in school,
Like how?
like calling me like stuff like wetback and stuff like that.
Oh.
I don't really mind, but that's cool.
Have you experienced racism in your life?
Yeah. Have you?
Not really.
Yeah. Popo come up and harass us all the time.
Yeah.
Fucking
Just-
white people.
Well, it's mandatory. They see more than fucking one brown person stand out here.
In a group, we're
Yeah,
considered.
we don't got
okay.
we got no little signs out here that says oranges for sale, so eventually
so
we're
fuck-
causing
yeah,
trouble.
mhm.
Eventually we're causing trouble. Hey.
Have you ever experienced racism?
No, I haven't. Everybody was everybody. The same to me. No matter what color they were always the same. No better. Sometimes I thought some of them, my own kind wasn't that good. But really, you know, I've never had no problem with racism.
Lazy Indians, that is out there foremost, you know. People say that about us not knowing who we are. So that's why you children don't get hurt if anybody say you lazy Indians. They don't know. They don't know our background.
Some Indians, you know, don't like white people, okay? I mean, that's normal. I mean, you always hear this talking. And I think I ran into an incident one time where these guys were cutting down the white people, you know, and I said, look, I said, yeah, there's good in whites and there's bad in whites. There's good in Indians, bad in Indians. But I said, when we want help, where do we go? Who's the rich Indian we go to get help? Where do we go? I said, we go to the white people. I said, we wear the clothing they sell, we buy food they sell. And I said, you know, I mean, you can't very well run them down because certain people will help us, the white people. That's how we got this.
We didn't need the white man's cups. We didn't need the things that they have, you know. We had our own things. How lucky we are as Indians, you know.
Never, he said, talk about someone else or someone else's children or whatever. He said, because when you have children growing up, he said, especially girls, he used to tell me, you never know what they're going to do.
I know that this segregation has got to stop. It's crap. And the only people that can do it is us. You know? As a light-skinned Indian may say, I'm not accepted by either or. What does that make me? Where do I go?
What was it like being Native American back then?
Bad.
Yeah?
A lot of prejudice. No one would admit to it.
Ears.
Even our own people. When your kids are going to school, you're able to talk about who you are, talk about your language, your culture. We were not allowed to do that. You didn't know us that old, did
I was in school and his ball came rolling towards me and I kicked it and he was like, he told me, he's like, you're just mad because we stole your land. He told me.
I just wanted to ask you, what do you know about Native Americans, just in general, just, you know, stereotypes, anything?
What I know about Native Americans? Well, we're standing on their land. What's that? It's a persecuted people and is, I think, underrepresented and misunderstood. I know it's a very strong culture and with a strong reverence for the land. There's a lot of social problems that I think have erupted from hundreds of years of oppression.
When white settlers came in, they occupied all of the land here and left us with just a tiny little spot on the side of the hill over there by the old rancheria.
During the time when we didn't have electricity, we didn't have water, we hauled our water out of, we had wells. We used to haul water from the well over here.
left on this reservation too.
And we used kerosene lamps for light. No TV, no nothing. Radio we had with just, we used batteries in it.
Outhouse.
Yeah. Outhouse, no inside plumbing.
There was plenty of land for everybody. If they'd come and talk to the Indians about, we want to stay here, and the Indians say, well, that's a good place to grow, or that's a good, there would have been plenty of land for everybody, but it never occurred to them.
Humans are funny creatures.
But like when I see all this hardship we grew up with, it wasn't a hardship to us. It was everyday thing. Like an easy thing, haul our water, get our wood, and it didn't feel like it.
Doesn't really
If
seem
women
hard.
wash their clothes enough. tub with the, what do you call it, washboard?
Yeah.
By hand. And nowadays you run out of electricity, or you're in a hardship because you can't see your TV. Kids are crying, no water, the water's not running, you gotta, what are you gonna do, buy it?
Jump in the river.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for Robert Kennedy, Robert Kennedy came here, and he was wondering how come we didn't have water. Rivers on both sides of our reservation and no water. So we've been, we're trying to get water, but we can't. So when he came here, he found out, and he just called his aide. He told him to make a call to his office and told them to get on that. So that's how we got water. And Indians, we had to go out, like I had to go out because Mom used to like to go out into the woods, pick berries and pick acorns and pick hazelnuts and switches and herbs. I was always there.
We saw the biggest basket in the world made by the Pomo women, some of the Pomo women here from this res. I think one of them was Lena Panola, Mamie Lewa, Ella Pike, and my grandmother, Susanna Frank.
I learned somewhere at the museum in Ukiah that every basket needs to have an imperfection in it to let the spirit out.
Session, the fucking savages. It's alright.
Savage Hour. This is the Savage Hour. We're just giving you a tour of the res.
That horse right there is named Angel.
This is Angel.
What the fuck was that?
You hear that?
Yeah.
This is what the girls do on a reservation. We sit inside, watch TV, and don't do very much. It's different for the boys. They get to go around and stand outside and stuff, but we have to stay inside so we don't get called a whore or a hoe. Or slut. Go like this and she'll come.
We're on our oil circle right now, so we're feeling good. We're happy we're home.
Isn't that just a lovely sight?
And do you see this motherfucker, this handsome, look at this handsome son of a bitch right here. This is my cousin, James Marufo. You all may know him as James.
So how's it like being a girl on the reservation?
It's hard, actually. It's like, it's different, you know what I mean, than being a guy, you know what I mean? Because...
How is it different?
Just different because it's like, you don't have as many advantages than other people or other guys. I mean, as the guys do, or grown-ups, you know what I mean?
So what do they say? Do they call you names or anything?
Yeah, they call us hoes and stuff like that, and say that we're like scandalous and all that stuff. Say we go and do stuff and we don't even leave our houses or whatever.
Why don't you guys leave your house?
Because of that reason.
Because we get a reputation for doing nothing.
And then how's it different for the guys?
They can go and do whatever they want, and nobody says anything, but if we do what they do, then we get called a hoe or whatever.
Nah.
Better not, I might have to pay him.
So now I get in trouble when the bastards come after us.
So we should just stop flowing.
Damn. Ooh, still got it. Oh,
Rip one. Look at that. It gave me the rip one.
Hey, bitch.
Must have felt rich with this one, huh?
You want the other one?
I mean, you're praying on something. I'll rip it.
Come up with our own shit. We could do that.
Okay, this is one of the things that we do to pass time because we can't go on the main road or anything. So we come hang out up here.
And everything was, to me was a learning process because I was a young kid, when I left, and I was totally ignorant of the things around me. And of course, being young and 17 and being 50, and I knew everything, of course, and sometimes my face burns, with that when I think of those days. Burn with embarrassment, and thinking that I knew it all, and I was really just an ignorant young child, still a child, and having to face, this cruel world. But that's, I think that's how we evolve, in mind and knowledge, mixing with others.
What's it like to be a girl on the res?
It sucks because they always have a bad reputation because guys like to talk.
The male Native American should have more respect for their wives and treat them as equal. You see them push them aside, say, well, they're women only, But now women are getting up there where they're not going to take that anymore. Not going to sit on the floor and cook and be the real squaw like they were supposed to be. Really. I've seen that in my past, years and years I could remember,
And quite a different era during that time. It was nice. We created things in our minds more instead of going to the store and buying things already made, It's so different now. If you children lived in my days, you would have, went through that. Made your own toys, did your own plays, and had your own pets. You don't have to go to the pet store to buy a pet. All these things. It's nice. No drinking. I never seen drinking on this res. If they drank, it was off the res. They had that much respect for the older people because of our religion.
Oh, hi there. I'm Sham Lee. See this? This is a #1 cause of many deaths of Indians or Native Americans, as you like to call them. I'd like to show you something. Just a little snip, clip, whatever. Little FYI. It's timeless how people try to hypnotize, these subliminal messages are just disgusting. I mean, come on, they're K's.
See this?
I mean, it was clever.
They're bad for your health.
It was clever, but
that
you
shoe.
ain't dumb.
Look at that, my light. Damn, that's a nice shoe.
Which I paid $5 for it, and seeing how this shit right here costs the same amount of money as I had to pay for that. That's disgusting. $5. I mean, come on now. Is it really worth it to die?
So, we have our way of respecting how to keep the earth nice, pure, especially our own minds and bodies, That's why we had all these Indian laws, how to take care of ourselves and how to take care of all the living things,
I'll tell you, I've got to say the termination era. And what happened was we were our own sovereign tribes and stuff. And then what happened was the government came in and said, all right, we're going to make you all American citizens. You guys are going to go out and work. And, some of my cousins, they pulled them off of the res and they threw them in the city. And they did that all over. They threw them all in Oakland, put them in vocational schools. They cut the culture out, and how that affected the kids that are around now is we're split. half of us are traditional and half of us are not.
This is what you white people do to us.
Biggest problems I see on the reds today is the alcohol and the drugs. It's the which wasn't too much of what went on here with any of the younger ones, but now it's down into the 12-year-olds, and and when I was growing up, there was drugs, and maybe I don't ever remember, but I know there was a lot of alcohol, but it was always maybe in the older, say like the 18-year-olds up to the on up, and there was not too much of it that I can remember with the younger ones like our age, like 12, 13, 14, like that. But today now I see it's that's what it is.
Yeah, it's my kind of place. Where the butt naked hoes at?
Most wanted, America's most wanted. Think about that.
Look at it this way. Shit, they can't find us.
Where am I at? Nowhere.
You don't know what I
Hotel.
reside. Shit, my name ain't Ricky.
Shit. Yeah, Shimmy, are those all the questions you got to ask me?
Fuck that. Got many more. So what do you think? How do you feel about how do you feel about the community around here?
Up here?
Yeesh.
I don't know. They don't bother me. That's all I got to say. So I guess they're good people.
They said our actions reflect on the younger you.
Trying to tell me I'm a role model.
Yeah. They're gonna do what they want anyway.
And just like what happened is the traditionals that stay traditional. I mean, if you stay traditional all the way, you're not going to get real deep involved with drinking and drugs and alcohol, because when you start falling deep in that, you got someone to look up to and talk to, and you learn respect and you learn stuff like that. Even though you don't choose to use it, there's always a point in your life where you go back to that. With the other kids and the other families, they didn't have nothing, They're still drug addicts. They're still alcoholics. They're still drinking around, partying around, because they don't know when to stop. They don't know. They never learn you respect certain things. I know guys that respect nothing. They don't respect nobody, nothing. But when it comes to dancing and the roundhouse and elders, they show respect. And they could be the bad, excuse my French, but they could be badasses, gangsters, drug addicts, whatever. But when it comes to that, they show respect.
As you can see, these were very special people that were buried. I think this is Cabby's grave right here. Yeah.
A little bit of an offering, because I never got to know. Say what you gotta say, Bert.
That's when my cousin died.
All you white people, we've been around, and we're gonna be around for a long, long time.
I just live one day at a time.
You gotta have the tradition in there somewhere. It don't have to be religion. That's what I try to tell these parents. I'm not trying to push religion on your kids. I said, but they need a sense of pride.
You know, here on this little PA res, littlest res. Oh, it's great. Just beautiful. No cops. We got to worry about no city people. Yup, it's all Jine.
We just wanted to know what do you know about Native Americans, just in general? Any kind of stereotypes, just anything?
Well, what I know has basically been from friends, but before that it was all stereotypes. I mean, you know, I'm 51, so when I was a kid, I grew up where they had like, you know, all the cowboy movies, and they didn't even have, you know, Native Americans as, you know, playing the Indians. It was Italians or Irish or all these different people. And everything was away from this whole idea of, you know, what really went on, which is a bunch of people coming over and killing a bunch of people and taking all the property, taking the land, driving everybody out. It's, you know.
Still taking over our land, what's ours. That's what I don't like. I mean, I feel bad because a lot of them don't realize what they're doing, but they're doing it.
Oh yeah, and just so everybody knows, for all those stereotypes out there, this is a room. Normal, like every. It's not a teepee. No, it's not a teepee.
I like being Indian because I get per capita.
Another thing is Native Americans have a really good sense of humor. So when they're talking like that, they're messing around to have fun.
I have something else to say. If you hear any foul language on this tape, it is not to be rude. It's just how they talk and how they learned and how they were raised around it. So it's not like anything bad.
Great one. No, my name's Vincent Marufo. Today was supposed to be something called Career Day. And yeah, that's why everything's so crazy today.
I'm standing here today with one of our beloved teachers, Miss Patterson. I just wanted to ask you a couple of questions today, Ms. Patterson. Would that be all right?
Absolutely.
All right, then. Question one. What do you think about the Native American kids here today?
In this school, in our school, they are so awesome. They have more personality and more cohesiveness and more life in them than any of the kids on campus. And they're very, they hang together. They support each other. They love each other.
It develops your mind. You are learning at that age. So when you grow up, you're going to go into deeper things. Your talent grows. Your hands can work. You're bringing out talent within your fingers, your hands, your mind is working all the time. So this is what I did.
I went Brush Creek, like first grade. Then I went to Dorrington up the reservation. I graduated there, and then I went downtown.
Like a high school?
Oh, yeah, the high school used to be across the grammar school there, long time ago.
Where that water tower sits.
I went there.
How long did it take you to get to school?
Oh, about all day. No, I went to school on time, but coming back from school, I got home kind of late, about 6. Got out at 2.
Kids' college fund. Shit. College of San Quentin. Yeah, what kids go to college and on the res? Come on now.
Sup, Tick?
I'll play gun college, maybe.
Yeah, we say, fuck, why we gotta go to school after we graduate? That's it.
Get off the res.
I'd like to see all the young boys and girls now and the ones that are coming and going to be growing up, I'd like to see them get an education, get off of the res. There isn't anything here. I mean, it's good to come back home here, you know, and for a visit or whatever, you know, but do something with their lives.
I'm in college and I get lots of scholarships for being Indian.
Why do they say it's not easy?
Because you know, you're not just in this moment, you're in a future moment as well, and you have to look at yourself later on, and you may not like the way you see yourself. Or you may...
Can I just whip it out on the camera real quick?
Probably not.
Go ahead, Pee Wee Herman. Pee Wee Herman. Whatever, Pee Wee.
So I want to keep going with that question I was asking you.
Okay, let's
you guys
answer.
both answer. What do you hope to achieve with this video?
Money.
Money and fame?
More respect for us.
And understanding.
And understanding.
Yeah. And
So you feel misunderstood right now?
yeah.
Yeah, by some people.
Yeah. Recording. I want to get on Oprah.
We happen to be doing a documentary on
We're doing a documentary.
Oh, really?
yeah, on our reservation.
Trying to chick on it, I get scared, man.
It looks like that.
No. I don't know if
That's
this
what
look
I want
like.
to grade up. That's wants to get work on it too.
Yeah, so you want it, What if he...
Oh, it was a lot different. It was not much nicer. There was not much trouble. No ruckus with the youth and adults like it is now. It was peaceful, very peaceful. Everybody got along with everybody now. You can't even look at them. It's just trouble.
Advice for young and old. You know, that's a good question. That's advice. I'd say advice for the older folks to be more tolerant. We all, had our turn. Be more tolerant of youth. Be more tolerant of their neighbors, and be more tolerant of the people in the world, because we're all part of the whole, you see, and there's too much intolerance, and I think that's pretty much because we don't understand, we're ignorant of other people. And with in this day and age of rapid communications and rapid transportation, in a matter of hours you're here, and then you're on another continent. You see, we still we somehow or other don't tolerate the people that we visit, if we would, in other parts of the world. For the whole, I'd say let's be more tolerant. And not seek perfection, in the youngsters and other people, because after all, we are not perfect. And the human race will never be perfect. And even if it becomes a civilization of robots, it still won't be perfect, because there'll be some defects somewhere along the line. And for the young, get your education. Especially the Indian children. Learn what you can, and when you learn, be open-minded. Fill that sponge, fill that brain with everything you can fill it with.
And we need somebody like you guys to help the older people and, better ourselves.
And that's why we were put here.
Right. So, when you guys got your chance, go for it. That's the best thing I could tell you guys,
He had always said, and he used to tell me, he said, when you have a calling in your life, whether you be a singer, whether you be a doctor, whether you be whatever that your calling is, he said, in order to fulfill that, he said, you have to be clean in here. He said, you have to love people, He used to tell me, he said, that's the first thing. He said, otherwise, he said, you're not giving people much if if you don't.
If we just sit and not do anything and depend on somebody else's talent, we never learn. We got nothing to teach our children. One day we're going to be daddies and one day we're going to be mamas, and you got nothing to teach your own children. I was taught not to ever sit around with my hands laying on my lap. Mom, Mom was like that, but she had a good way of teaching.
But sit down and ask yourself the question, what did I do that was meaningful to other people, that was meaningful to a lot of people?
Aye, aye, hoy, 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 winnie. 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 My toy got Jenny. Aye, aye,